The things you have to have conversations about with the narcissist can make you lose hope for humanity and that narcissist. I'm going to let you know right now, it doesn't stop. You'll never be able to stop. Those conversations that you're having with the narcissist, that's very similar to a child as far as share your toys and don't hit others, keep your hands to yourself, and words hurt type stuff. It gets worse through time because narcissism, in most cases, like psychopathy and covert narcissism, it's an actual personality. It's a personality type. It's not a mental disorder that gets in the way of the personality. And you'll find that they'll never listen to you, and you'll have to give the conversation, or you'll have to give the corrections to them more and more. With my ex-wife, a covert narcissist, I went from having to have these conversations with her about ridiculous things, ridiculous things, went from every few months to once a month to twice a month to a few times a week. And the type of stuff that she did by the last couple years of our marriage became a daily thing. She had no friends. Every single friend that we had, she would say the most horrible things about them behind their backs. Behind their back? Behind their back. And the only time she would reach out to them would be to manipulate them or turn them against someone else, like me, once the divorce came. But I think it's important that you understand these conversations don't get better. Also, narcissists, they tend to do substance abuse, and it's going to make it way worse. Way, way, way worse. My parents had the mentality of, I'll say, 12-year-olds when I was a little boy, when I was like 5. And by the time I reached the age of around 8 or 9, I was really concerned by their immaturity. I wasn't allowed out of the house and wasn't allowed to go to school. And my sister got the psychopathy that my dad has. So I was surrounded by 3 people who all abused me, all hit me all the time. But when they would invite friends over, I would see the way their friends interacted with them, and I'd realize that their friends thought the way I thought. And that's just, turns out that's just common sense. And after decades of substance abuse by my parents, now they're so erratic and chaotic, the screaming and yelling about all these little things that have nothing to do with them. They did not like that people wore robe and slippers. They would freak the fuck out about that. They would act so incredibly enraged. My ex-wife was the same thing. My ex-wife blew up in a absolutely explosive rage, like a murderous rage, where I did not feel comfortable around her because something would happen as far as she would see someone posted online that they bought a house and renovated it, and she didn't like the color that they painted one of the rooms, and she would act like you would if you came home and saw someone murdered your family and all your cats and left them for you to find. That was like after the rage would sink in after the shock, that's how she would act. And that's how my dad would act. And it was just completely unacceptable and confusing. Like imagine right now if I just started screaming and yelling because I did not like the look of the metal for the light poles here, and how I would just blow up and go on about it and start talking about revenge and what those people deserve, and how that wouldn't make any sense. But some of them get that bad, especially people like my parents that have been on a great deal of narcotics every day for decades. But I want you to understand this, and this is important. It does not get better. It does not stay the same. It gets worse. And that's not just coming from me and my experience of dealing with different types of personality types throughout the years. Working with people, working with bosses for years, watching them get progressively worse. I've researched this and I've seen videos on it too with psychologists that specialize in the field. and it's been the same termination. There's even been data. They've done studies on these people and monitored them and saw that there's no way for these people to manage themselves. Treatment doesn't do anything. They all progressively get worse because that's the way the brain is shifting with that personality type. But anyway, that's all. Save yourself, cut out the toxicity, get rid of those people because you need to take care of you.